In the final defense and submission by the TINUBU-led legal counsel regarding the Presidential Petition Election Tribunal, of course, there have been revelation that the TINUBU camp are in panic and fear owing to the fact that it is becoming very clear that the judges are set, of course, to pass a ruling which might not be favorable to them. And to this end, in their final submission, the judges, of course, admitted the imperative clause within the provision of the Electoral Act that made, of course, the Abuja 25% compulsory. And to this end, the legal counsels have no other options, but I think they could at this time rewrite the Constitution and miss the anticipated judgment. But it's too late for them, and the submission has raised several reactions across the Nigerian board, and many people are saying that if TINUBU is unseated by the pronouncement of the court or judges, that nothing will happen. There will be no anarchy as being presumed by the legal counsels in their final submission. Well, this is becoming so interesting. How does doing what is right becomes plunge the country into anarchy is to correct the anomalies and which will reposition the country in the path of honor and dignity. How does that amount, of course, reduce to the state of anarchy? I think the legal counsels owes Nigerians an explanation to this effect. Is this an early panic, of course, being triggered by the consciousness and the awareness that there is no way they can at this time bend the Constitution regarding its pronouncement and the description that it is a compulsory requirement that the Federal Capital Territory will, of course, be warned the 25% will be intact before anyone should be legitimately declared the president of Nigeria. It is one of the important clause you must not wish away. But unfortunately, this has caught them, of course, in the web of confusion and uncertainty, knowing fully well that there's no way they can, try to evade the full wrath of the Constitution haven't been invoked at this particular time. But they ended up saying that if should TINUBU be unseated based on this provision, of course, it might plunge the country into anarchy. But to the contrary, there have been several reactions sampled even at the internet, the Twitter, and individuals. They say this is much anticipated. They will rather celebrate and throw into partying should the court, of course, uphold the dignity and sanctity of their human life by doing what is supposed and, of course, restoring the stolen mandates of the people, that the entire country, instead of being agog, will throw party into celebration. I would want to know what is your own reaction and response regarding this. Of course, do you agree with what the masses are saying, that there will be serious partying, rejoicing and celebration, that the lost hope for the Nigerian people has been restored? It should TINUBU be sacked and removed from office by the Electoral Tribunal judges, which, of course, based on the submissions and the plethora of evidence, submitted by P2B. And of course, it is no longer news that this legal counsels and APC has lost the has lost, of course, has lost this litigation, and they think they could coerce the judges in a way uh, to bend or withdraw from pronouncing the most anticipated judgment, which the whole country and those in diaspora are anticipating, so that there will be one of the greatest moments for the Nigerians, both home and in diaspora. Let's see what he has to say. You can imagine how uh, the judges stoop too low to misinterpret the position of the Constitution. He said that connecting to the Federal Capital Territory with the state, how could you connect this Federal Capital Territory with the state? Isn't that insulting? Is a federal capital and enjoys such statutes, and it's not a state. If you say this is a state at this particular juncture, how do you mean? How many allocations that are given to the state do the federal capital receives? This is important. Of course, the federal capital territory has a governor who presides as the chief secretary of the state. Oh no, this is quite ridiculous. That even those who should know better are fumbling, and because of insincerity and the lack of conscience, it is quite unfortunate, honestly. And to this end, Nigerians might be laughing at them because they have ridiculed the judicial system and the legal, of course, profession by admitting that the Abuja territory, the capital territory, of course, assumed the status of states. Even unlearned fellows, of course, could not make such a blunder. It is quite unfortunate then, but it's a expression of the in-depth tragedy that they anticipate that possibly could befall them any moment from now. It's been anticipated that there will be vacancy, of course, and another person, possibly P2B, will be sworn in a matter of weeks or months, so to say. Wow, this is quite interesting. And let's go on. In essence, okay, the reading of this subsection has to be conjunctive and not disjunctive. It has gotten to this point. As the Constitution clearly makes it so. It really makes it so. The Constitution made Abuja Federal Capital Territory to be equated to the states. Oh my God. They press further by this constitutional imperative. Thank God they admitted that this is a constitutional imperative, that the Federal Capital Territory is not equated to the states, and that the position of the constitution is that anyone that must be declared the president of Nigeria must win at least 1/3 of the states, which is 24 out of the 36 states, and then the federal capital, that's and you see, cannot be thrown out. It is quite clear. Now, the FCT is taken as if it is, of course, the 37 state. Who takes it as if is, oh, what a shame, what a shame. Under, okay, by the virtue of section 299 of the Constitution, what does that say? Does it give the statutory position of states to Abuja? What a mess. Even the Abuja residents have been calling that they should be given some considerations, being that their own states have been taken over by the federal government, being the federal capital territory. They don't have, of course, true representatives by their own people. They don't enjoy what others enjoy. It is now you just want to change the rule at the middle of the game when it is almost over for you. Well, with much respect, which respect do you have for the Constitution when you do not understand the nitty-gritties of the content of this and you attempt to deny the reality? It is rather unfortunate then. Any other interpretation different from this, okay, will lead to absurdity. You can imagine chaos, anarchy, and the alteration of the very intention of the legislature. Now, wow, our courts have always adopted, okay, the purposeful approach to the interpretation of our constitution as exemplified in a host of decisions, including but not limited to Yusufu Rabiu versus States 1980. Okay, I stated the court number. Well, I think you are trying to beat about the bush, but the reality is unfolding, and people knows what the truth is, and they stand for that. If the right thing is not done, of course, if the judges decide to be prejudicial or possibly deny justice, of course, and not serve justice well, uh, the state might be agog. So they should not be cajoled into doing what is not right. They should stand firm and save humanity at this time. Let them come with equity. Of course, with clean hands as they go to equity because Nigerians have been patient and resilient, perhaps trusting that the integrity of the judges will not be compromised at this particular moment. Well, we will continue to bring you the latest updates of this interesting moment here in Callwave TV as we continue to keep you abreast with the undiluted reportage of events within the Nigerian socio-political sphere. Thank you for watching, and please, if you have not subscribed, kindly hit the subscription button. If you're the first time, of course, watching us, you're welcome to this most hallowed channel where we discuss, of course, the People's Parliament and the impulse of the people have been relayed onto the world. Thank you once again. Until the next edition, remain blessed.